Of course, we start at home, where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday welcomed news of the release of Kuriga school children in Kaduna State, saying collaboration between the federal and state governments made it possible. Tinubu emphasized the importance of such collaboration for expected outcomes, especially on matters of security. The president, in a release by his media advisor Ajurin Galale, commended the National Security Advisor, that's Malam Nuhu Ribadu, the security agencies and Kaduna State government for the dispatch and diligence with which they handled the situation. He said schools must be safe and secure for learning. Kaduna State Governor Senator Uba Sani, who announced the release of the school children, commended the president, NSA and the military for their role in the operations. All right, now for more updates on the released students abducted by terrorists in Kaduna State, Arise correspondent Nissi Gabriel is with us. Good morning, Nissi. Please give us an update on what's currently going on in Kaduna.
Good morning, Vimbai. Good morning, Dr. Abati. Good morning, Rufai.
Morning.
Well, it's another day here in Kaduna State, and yesterday we expected the governor to formally present the released school children to their parents after waiting for several hours and after a closed-door meeting with the parents of these released school children and all heads of security agencies here in Kaduna State. News got to us that yes, the school children have arrived in Kaduna from Zamfara State, and they were taken to the one mechanized division of the Nigerian Army, where they were expected to receive medical treatment and also just to take care of them, groom them, maybe change their clothes and other stuff, just to make them look better for today's reception, because it's expected that today the governor of Kaduna State, in the person of Senator Uba Sani, will officially receive these children and present them to their parents. So that's that for now. And as yesterday night, you also heard that the governor went to visit the school children yesterday, and he was received by the GOC of the 1 Mechanized Division of the Nigerian Army. And there, he was in high spirits, where he interacted with these kids. They've posted the video on his X handle. And that's what we know for now. And today we expect that these children will be brought to the Saka Shibi Ibrahim house, that's the Kaduna State government's house, and there will be a dinner for them, and where there will be an official handing over.
Well, when is this likely to happen today? Do we have any idea? Because the governor must have his own schedule for the day, 10 o'clock, 11 a.m., or when? And then, do we have concrete, figure in terms of the number of persons that were rescued? Some papers are reporting 137, some are reporting 287, some are reporting 168. I guess the school should have a school register. What are the teachers, the authorities in that school saying? They will know the number of persons who disappeared from the register in the last 17 days, wouldn't they?
Yes, Dr. Abati, you're right. Well, let me start with the latter. For the school register, as regards the figures, yesterday the governor did say, when he went to the one div, that 137 school children were abducted from that school, and he aligned himself with the figures released by the defense headquarters yesterday. And yesterday, after that meeting with the governor, I interacted with a parent, asked him about this figure. Why is there some sort of discrepancy in these numbers? And he said, well, he can't comment on that for now. What is important for them is when they receive their children, and then they can tell if any is missing. If there's none missing, that means it's fine. But as regards the figure, also sources privy to this incident said that 137 school children were abducted, including a teacher, making it 138. Why the terrorists progressed with these kidnapped people into the bush, we also understand that some sort of head count was always carried out on a daily basis throughout the more than 2 weeks these people stayed in captivity. Unfortunately, this one teacher died while in captivity. So in essence, 137 school children were released were released yesterday. So that is what we know about the figure. So according to what the governor said, he said, contrary to what is out there, that 287 school children were abducted, it's false, according to the governor. And what we are waiting for is for this reception to happen today, which most likely it will start by 10 a.m. or 11. And once this reception kickstarts, then we can gauge the faces of the parents and see if there are any complaints, if any of these parents can come out to say their children is missing or not. But so far what we know is that 137 school children were abducted and 137 school children have been released.
Right. It's very sad that we're still having those discrepancies as regards numbers. Take me through what, one, is the mood in the state as we speak of the way things are. Secondly, how about the other people kidnapped around that period? Because I remember that weekend, that full stretch of weekend to weekend, we had close to over 400 people in different, kidnapping attacks and all of that. I know some on Sokoto too have been released. What about the others too that were picked up around that time? Is there any word on them? Secondly, was there an engagement of the terrorists, in a way, sort of like in a firefight to release them? Or there was a compromise and agreement reached? Because I can see that they went to bring them back in buses and there was all logistics and all of that. What happened? And also, Nissi, help me segue that into a story that was reported at some point where journalists were saying that they had set up a negotiation team with the terrorists before now and the state government debunked that. They didn't want to hear that. Just tie all of that together for me.
All right, Rufai, brilliant question. First, the mood here in Kaduna is a jubilant one, I must say, because yesterday when these parents flocked into the government house, they came in anticipation to just reunite with their loved ones, with their children. But unfortunately, they were told that it's not going to happen yesterday, but it will happen today. And when we also spoke to some of these parents, they said right there in Kuriga, the mood also, it's a jubilant one. So many people everyone is happy that these school children, little children, ranging between 5 to 11, 15 years, thereabouts, are out of the kidnappers' den. As regards negotiation with terrorists and how these school children were released, well, it's still sketchy for now. But what we know is that when that report came out, that the state government has hired some sort of negotiator to try to secure the release of these students. The state government frowned at that, and they debunked it immediately, saying that they are not willing, or they won't negotiate with these terrorists, and it's not part of their modus operandi here in the state. Also, the federal government reacted subtly to that report, saying that they are not in any way negotiating with these terrorists to secure the release of the school children. And now what is not clear is how did these school children come out of captivity? What went down behind the scene? What sort of negotiation happened to secure their release? Those informations are still sketchy for now, but we believe that in the course of the day, as events unfold, we might hear one or two and it will become clear.
Thank you so much for that, Nissi.
And as regards other abductions across the state, I do remember.
Go ahead.
I do remember that during that period, abductions happened in Kajuru, area of Kaduna State, and pockets of abductions here and there. What we know is that, as of yesterday, the governor also reiterated the efforts of the military, that he has confidence in the Nigerian army, that they will secure the release of others still in captivity.
All right, Nissi, thank you for that. Lastly, briefly, before you go, I understand that the families, the parents of these children have been instructed not to engage with media. Has anybody been able to cite them at least and to just understand what the mood is with the parents and the families of these children?
Yeah, we had that too yesterday, but luckily for us, we were able to speak to one of the parents. Yesterday, we got him on tape. Jubrin Kuriga, we spoke to him. So if that instruction was given to them, I don't think he will speak to us, because we spoke to him and he expressed himself, how happy he was, and also with the fact that he really needs to see his children and to also verify if all are out, if all of them came out, if all of them have been released by these terrorists. So I think if such information was given out yesterday, I don't think that parent will speak to us or will grant us any interview. But we spoke to him yesterday, and he was in a jubilant mood. He was happy. And today, I think any other information we need to have, we'll get them today. From today, we can gauge the mood of these parents as they gather to receive their children. Today, we were able to gauge their body language, look them in their faces and see if they're satisfied, if they're not satisfied. So I think the whole deal will happen today. And after today, we're able to get proper information about all the events that has been unfolding in recent times.
Right, Nissi, Gabriel reporting live from Kaduna. Thank you so much for that update. We look forward to more as the story develops. Now, other news making the rounds this morning. The Debt Management Office, that's a DMO, disclosed that a total of 4.38 trillion naira went into the servicing of federal government of Nigeria's domestic debt obligations between January and December 2023. And we move to Senegal, where supporters of Senegal's presidential candidate Bassirou Diomaye Faye have taken to the streets of the capital Dakar in celebration as early results from Sunday's vote showed the opposition contender in the lead. Now to the United Kingdom, where Prime Minister Rishi Sunak is set to announce plans to invest £200 million in the country's nuclear deterrent and civil nuclear industry. Also, Simon Harris is set to become Ireland's youngest Prime Minister after he was appointed as the new leader of the governing Fine Gael party.